Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 543, and today we're doing an intro to the Berserker. And so, in our previous video, we covered off on the general rules and mechanics of backpack battles. In this video and the three following it, we're going to cover off on each of the classes, give you a bit of an intro in terms of what's happening with each of them. And so to me, the classes have two big things that really define what they're going to do. First and foremost, you have that starting bag, with the duffel bag as you would have here with the Berserker, and then those 5 subclass choices that you get in the middle of the game. And so to kind of highlight those over here in the space of the Berserker, oops, got to click on the items. There we go. We can hit the class items page. And so again, that early game kind of stuff with the Berserker is going to be the duffel bag. The duffel bag activates the battle rage ability, which is the big idea and thought behind the Berserker. Let me move my face here real quick. There you go. And so there are a few other items over the course of the game that do kind of tie in with battle rage. Battle rage is when you hit 50% health, you get stronger in combat for the next 5 seconds. And so that is the big kind of thematic thing that you're getting out of the Berserker, the big Wolverine style blood rage kind of thing once you fall down to half health. The other kind of core mechanic within the Berserker is going to be the forging hammer. This is a very strong item in that it lets you combat without using any stamina, and then it also is how you craft a lot of the other items within the game. And so if we do swing back to the crafting page on the Berserker, you can see items like the dragon scale armor, which is from the leather armor and the forging hammer. This really kind of ties everything together. It ties the room together, if you will, in the sense that you craft it by using the forging hammer next to the leather armor, and then it has this battle rage ability with it as well. So when you hit battle rage, you gain 40 armor, and then during the battle rage, you take an additional 15% less damage. And so that's the kind of big, grand scheme of the Berserker. You are crafting some of these items. You have the dragon's claws, which crafts with the hammer, the dragon skin boots, which crafts with the hammer. All of these crafting items tie into that battle rage, and then you're going to get super powerful within that battle rage. Very berserkery, very, very Wolverine-y, if you will, in terms of what I'm familiar with in life. In terms of that big mid-game power spike, though, with the subclasses, each class has 5 kind of distinct pathways they'll take based on these items. So the first one here is the Brass Knuckles, another 0 stamina combat-based item that lets you stun on hit. And so if you remember any of the daggers in the previous video, the daggers are 0 stamina items that when your opponent is stunned, you get a free attack with the dagger. So the Brass Knuckles and the hammers tie into those daggers to where you're going to try and stun your opponent over and over and over again, and then get a bunch of free attacks out of the daggers. Up next, you have the Wolf Emblem. Every class has a build-around type towards either food or towards pets. The Berserker builds towards pets to where they can come out and generate these wolves. I'm not certain if I can show them out of the recipes. I know there's at least one, but they have the armored wisdom puppy down here. They have the armored power puppy. They get this collection of wolves, this collection of pets that build up throughout the course of the composition. Up next is what sounds to be the most thematic to me in terms of the Berserker, which is the Anvil. It generates a flame. That is the Pyromancer ability, the 1 hex unit that gives you a little bit less cooldown on your items. But for each crafted item next to the Anvil, it gives a diamonded weapon plus 2 damage and uses 3 less stamina. So you're looking to craft 1 big super weapon while surrounding the anvil with those various flames. Up next is the Deerwood Guardian. This is the mana option coming out of the Berserker. Every class has a mana option as well that makes your damage taken during battle rages less. You do battle rage for longer for each nature item touching it, and then you have a way to burn off some of that additional mana. Last but not least is the Shaman Mask. This is a crafting type thing. There is the gemstone box that comes out and generates gemstones. Those are items that you can socket into various items. This works in the same sense. You generate little runes that function like gemstones. You're looking to attach them into your weapons, into your armor to strengthen up and make 1 big super weapon and make all of your armor stronger. And so those again are the 5 classes. You do want to keep these in mind as you start up with your early game composition and then kind of transition that into the mid game that functions with these. So you're looking to either make daggers and a stun comp, you're looking to make a food slash pet comp, you're looking to make a crafted item super weapon kind of comp, you're looking to make a mana comp, or you're looking to make another super weapon type comp, but instead of using the crafting function, you're going to be using the socketing function. And so that is the idea behind the Berserker. Let's go ahead, jump into a game, see if we can't bring some of these thoughts and ideas into fruition. And so we mentioned this at the start there, the kind of crafting items. We can turn these gloves of haste into the dragon's claws. Reasonable enough start there. I don't particularly like the wooden swords with the berserkers, so I'm just going to leave that at home. The lump of coal will essentially be free, right? It costs 1 gold. We can sell it for 1 gold. That's not that big of a deal. And then I do like starting out with these healing herbs if we get them on sale. You tend to run into a lot of opponents in the early game that just can't handle life gain, and so getting that regeneration does help, but I don't want to pay the full price for it. So let's take a reroll here, see if we can't pick up anything else useful. And that's a very interesting start right here with the hammer, right? We mentioned that as far as the subclass compositions go, you have the stun comp, you have the crafted item thing, the socketed item thing, the mana thing, and the pet thing. The hammer this early could really push us towards building up a stuns-based composition. So I'm going to go ahead and snatch that one up as well. We're out of space within our bag, so we've got to kind of push off from here. Can we fix this a little bit to where we actually get usage out of our thing? Hang on, let me see if we can't turn this real quick. Just got to get the bag facing this way. Now that seems a little bit better, right? We're actually using the gloves, getting the star out on the onto the forging hammer. Okay, seems good enough. Let's dive into battle. Okay, up against the old warlock. I know it's not called the warlock. I'll eventually remember what the what the name of this thing is, but very strong start, took them down quickly and easily. Let's move on. And so see here, you can see we upgrade to the Dragon Claws, gives you that 10% to resist poison, and then during Battle Rage, your starred items trigger 40% faster. Reasonably strong thing here in the early game. Otherwise, very happy to pick up this bag that's on sale. I'm not opposed to picking up Customer Card. It increases the rarity of 1 item in the shop on refresh, and then it upgrades into a platinum customer card to where you get to reflect debuffs onto your opponent. We tend to have a lot of legendary, godly, and unique items since we do a lot of crafting, and I think it works out kind of nice here. And so I'm going to go ahead and snatch that one up. These other things within the pack aren't very good, and so let's just go ahead and move on to the next round. I would like to move the Dragon's Claws up to the hammer. The hammer is just a better combat item compared to the forging hammer, and so hammers for days. MC Hammers, if you will. Does anyone know who MC Hammer is? Dude was fucking massive. Dude was massive. Oh, man. You get on your hammer pants, right? The defining factor of the early 90s is the hammer pants. Man, that was a bummer. I don't know if you completely watched what happened with that. We both got down to 2 health right here at the end, and then he got the final hit in, the final blow to take us down. That's bullshit. This game's dumb. But all right, let's move on. Let's get away from MC Hammer here. So what we're going to do, again, I don't like the wooden swords and the whetstone crafting with the Berserker, so we'll skip over that. The Shield of Valor is a little bit expensive here. It doesn't give us any direction. Let's just go ahead and take a reroll. And so some decent stuff here. There is the Spiked Collar. This lets your Battle Rage last longer. Reasonably powerful accessory. And then the leather armor does build up to the dragon armor. We made a touch of a note of that earlier. And this is fine. Like, I kind of prefer in some of these comps to be building towards vampiric armor, right? This, if we're going to be doing the hammers and the stuns, having the vampiric armor and then the bloody dagger working together is kind of nice. And just getting, the Dragon's Rage bonus isn't super spectacular, but The kind of problem here is we are fairly early into the game, and like picking up the leather armor and just holding on to it is kind of a pain point. And so let's see though. I'm trying to think if we want to. Like I'm pretty confident I'm just going to be going all in on the stun comp and moving over to um, the Dragon's Rage or the dagger build. But with our daggers, I tend to prefer. Let me see if we can pull it up on the items page. Oh my gosh, where are we at? Oh my god, everything's just getting fucked up. What happened? Here we go. All right, let me pull up all the items in the game. You can search for stun in here, right? I'll show you the purpose of the comp that we're trying to do here, right? So we have the hammer that activates to stun the opponent. We're going to pick up the brass knuckles that will stun the opponent, and then we can get things like the bloody dagger, which on stun, it triggers an extra attack. The one that I tend to prefer is going to be either poison dagger, so that we can stack up poison, or the spectral dagger, which stacks to have more scaling type damage. The bloody dagger, just like healing up a little bit, doesn't strike me as spectacular. It is nice having the heal, but what I found in essentially every game ever made is that dealing damage is more important than heal. Like the sustain that you get out of heal typically is just not enough to overcome the scaling damage coming at you, and so I tend to prefer to go for the more damaged based ones as opposed to the heal thing. So long story short, I'm just going to go ahead and make the dragon armor here, give us a little bit of early game strength, and then if we do pick up some of that vampiric stuff, we could just drop it somewhere else later. All right, but this guy does literally no damage. we could fight this guy for days. This is why I think some of these units like Banana, some of the cards like the healing herbs are pretty decent in the early game. You will run into comps like this that just do nothing, right? He does like 2.5 damage per second. That's not enough to finish anybody off, and so glad to have that cruise through. And so here, this is an interesting build-around thing with the Box of Riches, right? We have a lot of socketed things. You can see the sockets that we have on board like this, to where there's 1 socket in our crafting hammer, 2 in the regular hammer, 3 in the dragon scale armor. So we can still get a lot of usage out of the Box of Riches, even though we aren't intending on building towards the socket comp, right? I'm not intending on purchasing that socket item, but I mean, it could be a different transition place. We haven't seen any daggers up to this point, which is a bit concerning if we're going to build towards daggers with the hammer. And so I think I'm still fine with this. I do like some of the gemstones that come out of this. You can get the bonus attack speed with the topaz, load that up into our hammer, make it attack a little bit faster, and feel pretty decent about that. So we'll at least pick it up here. At the end of the day, if we sit on the Box of Riches for like 2 or 3 rounds, we can just sell it and sell all of the gems and be break even in terms of money. So it's not a super big investment here. My only concern with what we've done so far is we've got the Box of Riches and the customer card. Those aren't combat centric items, and so we're a little bit weaker in combat, risking losing some hearts here in the early game. All right, up against the Warlock though. She's starting to ramp up that poison on us. Her backpack doesn't look super optimal, right? If you're not familiar with how the Warlock works, they have the click on the bag, the coffin, right? So when your item inside the coffin activates, you get a 25% chance to inflict 1, and they're taking up the full 4 slots with the broom, and then they have some of these foods that they could turn around on the other side, and so I think we're getting a touch lucky in terms of the comp that we're running into, but looks like it's still not enough to overcome. That's again my concern with this start with the customer card and the gem box. It's just a little bit greedy. All right, pushing forward though, I'm happy to pick up these heroic potions. You tend to run out of a lot of stats within this thing, and so you can see the heroic potion tying up to the banana if we want to take the big upgrade path here. The thing with the strong heroic potion is it does give us a lot of empowered attacks, in the sense that some of our abilities will activate once we have empowered 4 or empowered 5 or so, but Like I don't remember the combats themselves if we were actually running out of if we were actually running out of stamina. I was doing a little too much hee-haw instead of paying attention, but let's see how it goes. We'll pick up the banana, we'll pick up the heroic potion. See if we can't fight through here. Yeah, we're definitely running out of stamina. Hitting that battle rage though. Out of stamina again. Won't won't. I don't know if we're gonna be able to fight through this one. Yeah, we need to find another dagger. Or a dagger, not another one. Need to find our first one. So I'm not certain if we should be rolling a little bit more to try and find it or not. It's kind of tough there though. So here you do have the big cheese, if you will. This is a Berserker only style food, which is very strong, but I think we're kind of far away from actually wanting to go into the food comp. Like, I'm still intent on going towards stuns. I could be convinced to go towards gemstones, but I think food is just too far away, and so I don't really want to chase that one down. Let's take a reroll, see if we can't find anything useful. It's not. I mean, the chipped amethyst is fine, but not quite what we're looking to find. We really just need to come in and find a dagger. That's been the main pain point here. Let's do this. I'll pick up the the bag that lets us attack a little bit faster. There is a combination here with the thorn whip. It turns into the chain whip. I'm not super interested in it. I'm just going to come out and take the pestilence flask so that we can just get a little bit more damage. And then, you know, if we do manage to ever find a if we manage to find a dagger at some point in time, then we can strap that up. So let's move our gem out here. Let's see. We'll just put it in our weapon. Probably should have picked up that 1 gold amethyst. Rolling past it's probably never good. But all right, I think we're okay here. The opponent is kind of in the same boat as we are in terms of combat, but we do have what I think is a little bit more going for us in terms of activating a little bit of poison and having just a touch more mid-game kind of stuff. Oh my god, we're gonna get smashed again, aren't we? Oh my god, we're we gotta come out here and rally hard. We gotta find something, man. This has been brutal. This has been a tough run. Just without the dagger, this has really been falling apart. And so as far as these go, I'm fine to pick up the Goobert. This is not something that we're going to actually come out and build around, but it's going to give us just a little bit of longevity. Like, we got to come out, get into winning some of these combats, and then got to find a dagger at some point. It's wild that this hasn't turned up to here. Now, we could look to, like, pick up the axe. You have two options in terms of switching over to the gemstone kind of comp. You want either the double axe, which is an axe tied to an axe, or you want to pick up the busted blade, which is the impractically large greatsword that has been forged up. It does have like 5 gem slots in it. And so what I think I'm going to do is just keep pressing forward. If we have the impractically large greatsword turn up, then I think we're okay to pivot over to it. I just don't think we have the money to be purchasing axes here and not getting activations out of both of them. Otherwise, like, we could maybe roll a little bit more. I don't really want the chipped sapphire. I don't really want the lump of coal. See what turns up. And oh my god, we finally found one. Holy shit. Mark your calendar. We found a dagger. So let's see what we can do with that. We got to get it in here. We're going to upgrade it into this poison dagger. That's the place that we definitely want to be. And then we need to get our Goobert out here as well. We'd have the space for it. We're just gonna have to kind of come in and rearrange everything. Let's just redo the whole bag here real quick. So we're gonna want something kind of starting like this. We're gonna want the Goobert in the middle. We're gonna want at least like 1 or 2 weapons over to the left of it. I'm kind of envisioning, where's our hammer? Right, we get our hammer over here. Then we can do hang on. I'm wanting to get the bonus attack onto, or the bonus attack speed onto our dagger and onto our hammer. I mean, we can do one of these. Get the hammer up here. Okay, that's happening. We can get the dragon's claws onto the hammer. Beautiful. Now we got to come up with a 6 space for our armor. Got to have that thing, and then we need a 4 bag for the poison. All right, what's left? We can still fit it all in here, right? Look at that. Look at that nice backpack crafting that we just came out and did. Hopefully this is going to be what carries us a little bit. It sucks to come out here and just like rearrange the bag, spend all this time with one heart, and then just come out and fucking lose. But I think we'll be kind of okay here. This strikes me as kind of like a good turning point for us. And so let's see if we can fight through and get through this battle. I think we're stronger than this guy. He's only really hitting us with the bow there. It doesn't seem like it's enough damage to fight through the Goobert. Feeling good about it, squad. I think we're going to make it. Okay. Round 1. Get to unlock the subclass. We get a little bit of extra help in terms of that heart. So if we high roll against, or somebody high rolls against us, we aren't just completely dead. I think I'm on board with that. And then, yeah, we'll pick up the brass knuckles as well. We're going to have to do a little bit more rearranging out here, but not a bad spot to be in. So let's see. We picked that up. There is the blood amulet we were talking about in terms of the vampiric type thing. I'm not opposed to picking it up. Having a little bit of vampirism isn't bad, but you know, we just need more daggers. That's the big thing. We got. We'll clear up our mistakes and get that 1 mana gem out of here. Now again, not a ton of great stuff. I could be convinced to pick up another Goobert. We can sell off some of this stuff that we don't want, but I don't want to get super invested in these things. Do we end up wanting it? I don't think so. But we got to fix our bag here real quick. And so what I would like to have happen is that we want kind of like the double combat items. We want all of our combat items facing this, but we also need to kind of fix this up a little bit so that the bummer with what we've assembled here and what we should have kind of fixed in that last round is we want to we don't have enough stuff within our duffel bag. And so I think what we'll end up doing, let's pull out the attack speed thing. We'll move it over 1. Now we can get our... Oh, hang on. I forgot this does. The starred items get a big bonus. And so we can bring in like this. So we get the brass knuckle bonus on the 2 items. Maybe that's the way to go. And we didn't need to rearrange quite as fast. That's okay. All right, so something like that. Sure. Let's load up these real quick. Take the remove a buff. We'll put that onto the dagger. That's the fastest attacky thing that we have. Or would we rather put the poison? We'd probably rather just double stack the poison. Okay. I'm on board. The ruby does lifesteal, so maybe that'll help us fight through this round a little bit. I don't know, it feels like we're taking a lot of damage. We have been stacking him up with quite a bit of poison, though. You can see we've got him up to 16, 18 poison. We started to ramp that up very quickly. And so it does feel, you know, a little promising seeing something like that roll itself through. At least a little promising. So, okay, let's push onward and upward. And so do we want to start moving towards any more potions? Like, I'm not opposed to it. This is like a very, like, fast, like, attacky style comp. And so maybe we can just end these games super quick and get some kind of advantage out of these that way. And so got to come in, rearrange again just a little bit. Trying to see if we can't manage these bags to get our potions to stack on each other. We're a little bit short in terms of bag space to pull it all off. I think it's okay though. We'll keep our stamina potion out here. Do something like that. We don't get to use the health potion this way. It's a bit unfortunate. Like, I can look at this and see, oh, we have one space up here at the top right and another space over here to the left. We can probably figure out a way to make this work. One moment, 1 second. Let me see. Get back to the old bag rearranging phase of the game. Bring something over like this. I think that this is our pain point, is with the hammer. I'm sure someone out there can just immediately look at this and be like, "Oh, I know how that works. That's that's an easy rearrange." But take me a bit of a moment. That doesn't work, right? We gotta get the bag up on top. All right, something like that. And then we can just push the potions off to the side where it's a little easier to just figure out. But look at that, I did it. Look at that, I did it. I figured out how to rearrange everything to get those activations in. Okay, I think we're fine now. But no, I wanted to pick up the poison so that if another dagger shows up, we have the tools to make the poison dagger. And it gives us a nice little intermediary space in terms of working these potions and the daggers together. So big poison got him up to 30 pretty quick. We're moving up now. We're moving along. We're getting some upgrades. Feels good. Feels good. And so let's see here. We've got a chipped amethyst that we can come in and upgrade. I definitely want to pick up this spiked collar. I think that'll be good. I guess we could pick up the regular ruby. That's going to be kind of an upgrade. There is the corrupted crystal out here. These are supposed to be quite good. I haven't quite figured out what makes them quite good, but I know from reading that they are supposed to actually be decent things. But I think we're getting into a nice upgrade space like this. Pick up the potion belt since we're doing all the potion stuff. We're upgrading our rubies within our hammer. We can upgrade these purples within our armor. Let's put the attack speed onto the little hammer. I'm just gonna... Oh, I guess we do get some bonuses out of this way. Now, the only thing that's really kind of chapping my ass right now is we don't have the Dragon Claw bonus onto our hammers. I wonder if we can't fix that real quick. All right, all of our potions are activated that way. Looks good to me. Just put these rando. Having the gems within your bag is not great, but it's not nothing, I guess. So let's keep them in there. All right, battle time. The deck of cards. I've never been impressed by the deck of cards. I'm not entirely certain what it's supposed to do. I've played the comp once on my own, and it didn't seem like it really did anything, and so is what it is. Take that victory down, though. That one dagger, it's like been a world of difference between the one dagger showing up and what we've been able to come out here and do. It's spectacular. So here was the Impractically Large Greatsword, right? This does have the five slots in it. It's a very powerful comp, but we're too far away from that. On sale fanny pack is good. That's the attack speed bag. Gotta find another dagger or something, though. It's wild these aren't turning up. Take the chipped ruby. We can just sell it if we want. I don't think we want these things like holy armor. Again, I want to be more in that speed of just being like really hyper aggressive, and I want to just roll for I want to roll for daggers. Like, it's wild that we haven't been seeing them up to this point, but just is what it is, I guess. All right, we'll do something like that. We'll at least make our poison dagger attack a little bit faster. We can upgrade the emerald within it. With these little rubies upgrading up at the top. We're getting the flawed topazes within our hammer. These are the topaz is the attack speed buff. And so with the hammer is the idea is that the hammer is going to be attacking as fast as it can, getting more and more stuns, and then those stuns are going to activate the daggers. And so we have a plan. it may not be a good one, but we have one. All right, battle rage activated. Start hammering home, taking them down, getting those victories. GG. All right, what can we do here? Tusks, these are all just kind of crappy items. Up next, I don't really want regular sapphires. That thing kind of sucks, but I will pick up the one bag that's on sale. Goobert's not what we're trying to do. Again, we want daggers. That's the big thing. There are some potions that we would like to pick up if that turns up as well. But pick up the bag space. We're pretty set on bag space at this point, at least for the next little bit of time. All right, here's a pestilence flask up here at the top. And so we're 1 mana short. We'll sell the lump of coal, pick up the pestilence flask. Now we got to do a bit more rearranging. the story of the day. The story of the day. We got to do a bit more rearranging, and then we'll be okay. So let's do this. Let's mess with this hammer again. Just needs... We can put, say, like the duffel bag on top, and then it does make it attack slower this way. I was trying to think, like, we need to switch all of our potions to be horizontal, right? So we can ideally activate all of them like this. But then that puts us in the place to where the daggers don't really work. We'll just load up the Dragon's Claw onto the poison dagger and call it a day. I don't know what the optimal play is there, but that's the one we're certainly gonna make. Now what do we got left? Let's put the flawless ruby onto the weapon. Put the weaker ruby onto our weaker weapon. Now we gotta get the stuff from our bag back up here. Yeah, so we have a lot of bag slots. We just gotta find the items we need. It's been tough. Like we're about to get poisoned down. I thought his was gonna scale a lot faster than ours, but then we started chunking him a lot. Got a couple of those dagger hits in. Oh. Came down right close to the end. I was very close. I wish you could replay those so I could scroll through it just a little bit faster, but I don't think that's an option. But all right, we'll pick up the spiked collar. No daggers. No daggers anywhere. I'm kind of interested in the health potion. My thing with the potions is that we're going to eventually, hopefully, replace one of these pestilence flasks, and then I want to make sure that we have enough potions at that point. So let's still just go ahead and buy one. I mean, the way that this game's gone, the stuff that we want is just not going to turn up, but we can at least try. All right, we'll stop rolling here, I guess. I'll take the 2 mana attack speed bag, do something with it. Gotta start making some sad noises out here. Just literally nothing is happening how we want. We can do this. We'll put more attack speed on our hammer. Upgrade those emeralds, sure. And let's do this. I want to get out. I want to organize this stuff without having to rearrange it too hard. Yeah, that's probably fine. It's coming out here being a little lazy. A little lazy bones. All right, good stuff. I think we're strong enough now.
Okay.
Another Berserker. Oh. Ooh, that was close. I thought we were done. Our potions ran dry, and I think that we caught a late stun there right at the end to carry it over. I saw our health drop to like 2 and his dropped to like 40, and then something happened and we crushed right through at the end. That that felt very lucky to me. But all right. Moving forward, I think we should probably put these emeralds in our attacky weapons. I mean, I don't know the full answer to that. It seems like maybe we should. I don't know. We'll come back to that. Let's pick up another one, though. No daggers. Man. It's all we need. It's all we want. It's all we're looking for. I am okay with Divine Potion, I guess. This is another one to where if we find ourselves in the space of like another poison comp or something, it lets us clear it out. Like, I'm not amped about the amount of potions that we have going here, but just the stuff that we've been looking for has just never turned up. All right, I'd like to equip the other Flawed Emerald. I think that's one of the kind of mistakes that we've been making across the way here is... We had some of these emeralds, but we didn't have them on our hammer or on our hammer. So it seems like we could have done a little bit better there. Sure, prevent stuns. All right, well, let's see if the potions can carry us again. You gotta have something good happen, right? Loading up that poison pretty quick, though. That's always an important thing to be doing here. He's not going to be debuffing us, though, and so that's one of the weaker points of the Divine Potion. Just doesn't do anything against the Pyromancer, or at least the non-ice Pyromancer. They took us down at the end. Sad day. Sad day, but not bad. That should be what I think to be a pretty good intro to the Berserker. We got a nice little intro to some of the different comps. The stun thing that we were going for, it's interesting to have it turn up, but at the end of the day, you're really looking to have like 3 or 4 daggers. You could see the power spike when we hit that 1 dagger and then just annihilated the next 6 opponents, right? And so that was the kind of pain point for the run that we had here. Now, there were some options to transition, right? This is one of the spaces as to where I get more experience and I get more comfortable with the game. I'll most certainly be able to say, okay, well, you know, we haven't hit the daggers at this point. Let's just put the hammer into the bench. Let's pick up this impractically large sword. Let's switch over to this gemstone comp. But you know, once you've made that decision to pick up the brass knuckles in the middle of the run, it's kind of awkward in the sense that you're not going to be. You want to have runes if you're going to be going for the sockets, as opposed to what we did there. And so it's all stuff that'll take a bit of figuring out. Again, I wish that we had hit a little bit more of a power spike with some more daggers to really show how this comp could pop off. But I think we hit a lot of the thought process and what goes on in some of these games between, you know, starting in the early game, having enough strength to get to the mid game, within the mid game, really developing around your subclass item, and then starting to devise the comp towards what you can look to towards the end game. I think we hit a lot of that with the early game power spike items, with a little bit of the progressive heal, the recognition of the hammer that carried us into the mid game to where we thought we were going to make a stun comp. And then as we got towards the late game, we were looking to really ramp up that poison onto the daggers and tie that into the stuns. I think that we had good direction. It just didn't really come together with the shops. Nonetheless, good stuff. I had fun with that. I hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So hope everyone enjoyed the video. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way. You had a good time watching. This is Bustin' Me. Thank you for being here.